Oh no, you asked me to analyze one of his fights at an international tournament. So let's watch how my followers act in a fight and what type of help can I gift you with my analysis and experience by analyzing high-level fighters. Nice to meet you, I'm Lorenzo and I love to share my fight analysis here on YouTube. And if you want to get a free Taekwondo guide that can help you to improve your sparring, just download it for free from the link in the description. Then if you want to watch more videos like this, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. For what I watch, the fight starts well. I can see that you build a very good fight basics, because not every young fighter used to cancel their opponent's leg, so you trained a lot. This is a very nice combination, we are already in a good spot. You force an head kick but you didn't give up, so you try to score multiple techniques to the torso, and this is the type of attitude that I like. The first probably mistake that I see for now is that you stop when your opponent stops. So if your opponent strikes with one technique, you do the same, and this is a problem because you are going to strike with the same volume of your opponent, so you are not going to increase the chance to score compared to your opponent. And to increase the chance to score, you have to strike more techniques than your opponents. This is a very first mistake that both of you have. You use multiple cut kicks. This combination is not used anymore because it's banned by rules, and if you use this type of techniques, you are going to get a penalty from the referee. You got a gun jump. Then people even learned how to play against this type of combination, and as you can see, the blue was able to read your rhythm and to counter your technique, so he was going to lose even 5 points due to the mistake. I advise you just to drop this technique, this type of combination, and it's only going to give the points to your opponent. And as you can watch, the referee gave a penalty to the red for this mistake, and the same then happened also to the blue. This is a good habit that you have, and I hope that you're going to improve it even more, because you cancel the opponent's leg, and in the moment you were able to unbalance your opponent, you respond with a roundhouse kick in a close distance, so you had a lot of chance to score this roundhouse kick. Probably I found another possible mistake, because as I thought, when the opponent strike once, you are going to respond with one technique, and if he stops, you stop. So your opponent is deciding the flow of the match, and this should never happen in a fight if you want to win. You should manage the flow of the match, you should manage tension in the match to score more points than your opponent, and if you let the opponent decide the flow of the match, of course he's going to strike more points than you. What I mean with this theory is that in this combination, your opponent struck with a roundhouse kick and you respond with a roundhouse kick. Then he stopped and you stop. Instead you had to respond with 2 roundhouse kicks or more than 2 roundhouse kicks. Then the opponent strike once and you have to strike with 2 or 3 techniques, or even more if you can. The higher is the quantities of technique that you land on your opponent, the higher are the chance to score points. Then we have an even bigger mistake where you distract yourself by watching the television, so you're going to watch the screen when you are fighting. This is a terrible habit because you lose the focus from your opponent, and you should never watch the score. Focus all your mental energies on trying to understand how to score more points possible, and you should never look at the score, because as we can see, in this moment when your opponent watched the screen, you decided to watch the screen too, and you have missed the chance to strike an helmet kick, or maybe you lose the chance to strike a roundhouse kick on the torso, so you lose the chance to score 2 or 3 points because you decided to look at the screen. Another great counter in this action. Okay, can happen that your opponent push you in the corner because you have even a good defense style, so it's normal that you get in the corner multiple times, but in this case the blue has given you the chance to rotate him and you get the chance to change the situation very easily. And even when the referee comes to divide you, you had to move again the center of the mat, but you decided to stay into the corner to get this disadvantage, because if the referee is good, he's going to block your movement and is going to put again you in the corner. But if the referee is not good, you have the chance to get back in the center of the map. But the easiest way to avoid this situation where you are in the corner and you have the chance to hug your opponent, you have to rotate your opponent. Because when you get a grand advantage like forcing your opponent into the corner, you have the chance to strike multiple high kicks for free, or maybe you have the chance to strike multiple techniques that allow you to score points, because your opponent can't backsteps or can't slide back. So in the same way, when you are in the corner, you are forced to play a little bit worse compared to when you are on the center of the map, unless you are very good to play even into the corner. But not everyone is good on playing into the corner at this type of level. You give 2 points to your opponent. Do a penalty that you could avoid, because this type of technique, the multiple cut kicks, is banned in modern Taekwondo. I don't know why you're still using it, and it's very bad for you, because like in this case, you had the chance to recover this match, to come back this match, but due to this 2 gum jump, you lose probably the chance to recover the match. For this first round, what I can can tell you is that you didn't play bad. You were very good on control the opponent's attacks, so you are a very good defensive player, but in this case your opponent got lucky to score with an axe kick, or maybe not, maybe it was intentional, I don't know. But in my opinion, you didn't play that bad in the defensive side. You were very good as a defensive fighter. You were able to block a lot of techniques, but there was a big mistake here. The blue, your opponent, decided to flow the match. He was able probably to score more techniques than you. He was able to force you for 30 seconds or more into the corner without letting you the chance to play as you wish. You were neither able to get out of the corner, so you were forced in the corner and you played for a lot of seconds into the corner. And in the moment that your opponent got a small advantage, due to the situation, you weren't able to come back. But for what we watched, the second round was a little bit different. The blue started to play even more aggressive for the second round, and you played a lot more defensive, but you were able also to counter a lot more and land more techniques compared to the first round. And what I see that you don't play a lot are high roundhouse kick, because a lot of times you have the chance to throw high roundhouse kick, but you didn't throw any high roundhouse kick. Your opponent wasn't needed at all, so you had the chance to score a lot of high kicks in a close distance. In the end of this match, I think that the blue didn't kick a lot more than you, but that 3 or more techniques were enough to score the 2 points of advantage. So from this analysis, what you have to bring at home, and what even other people that are watching this video can bring at home and that can learn, is that first you have to rotate your opponent when you are into a corner. So if your opponent argue, you have to rotate your opponent and you have to switch the situation to your advantage. This is the first thing that everyone should learn. If you are into the corner, you have the chance to clinch and force an ag, rotate your opponent and get the ground advantage. The second thing is that you are great at the defensive playstyle, but you have to increase the volume of your techniques. So if you want to get a rapid change in your your victory, or maybe I don't know if this is going to help a lot, of course, then it depends on you. But if you want to score more points, you have to increase the quantity of techniques. So if your opponent strike 1 techniques, you have to respond with the 2 or 3 techniques. So when you're in your doyang, try to push your body to kick even more. If your opponent attack with 1 technique, try to push your body to strike 4 or 5 techniques. Try multiple combinations. Even if you burn your stamina, so you're going out of breath, it's not a problem, because you're in doyang and you are testing like your body limits. In every exchange, try to strike with multiple techniques compared to your opponent. Your opponent attack with once and you respond with the 2-3 techniques. This should be your goal in your next weeks, and you can already watch a lot of difference, because if you respond with just 1 technique and that's the same technique of your opponent, and if your opponent decided to attack you once more and then run away because he's going to score those 2 points, you miss a chance to respond and get back those 2 points. What we want to do is to, if our opponent strike once, we strike 2 or 3 times, so we increase the chance to score points, and maybe you are going to get 4 points instead than 2, and we'll get 2 points advantage in 1 action. Now let me know your opinion about this fight in the comment below, and if you have some advice to give to this guy.